exit from ITV was very much one gory news that people felt very interested in. But did you really know exactly what happened afterwards? Well, the wife apparently was never in contact with Philip Schofield after the exit, and after it was reported that he was having a very mysterious affair with a male colleague at ITV, which of course got her booted from the company. Lots have been unraveled. Well, we're here to also tell you exactly what Philip and the wife is up to as we speak. Well, as we speak currently, the two have reunited. Well, not as in back together officially as married couple, no. The two are still together as co-parenting. Well, we'll get into the details of that. But for now, do want to like our platform. It's very important. This is Daily Trends helping access, of course. Let us also know what you think about episodes so far, including this that we're serving you with. So ITV officially kicked Philip Schofield out from the company, not just because of any other reason, but because that Philip apparently came out saying that he had an mysterious, I should say, affair with one male, colleague over there at ITV. Now, upon investigations by the company, looks like this person, I wouldn't want to put his name out there because of, some security reasons, which of course you all would bear with me. And so this little boy who was having this affair with Philip Schofield apparently was the reason why Philip was, parted ways with ITV. Now, after that, people were also linking Holly Willoughby into this picture, saying that she knew the affair that was happening in between, the company, especially with Philip, who was at the time 74 years old and having an affair with a young boy at the age of 22. And so people also linked Holly into this situation, but she apparently came out also saying what she knew about the whole situation, also throwing her former colleague, Philip Schofield, under the bus. Now, that got people talking and saying that she isn't a good friend at all. Well, that aside, one person that people really wanted to hear so much about was Philip's wife. All these brouhaha going on, the wife was very mute about it. Well, an insider officially broke the news that the two, for some months now, have never been linked together after the disgrace by the husband and, of course, the ITV personality, Philip Schofield. Well, we did know that the two apparently parted ways, but the good news we must confirm to you is that the two are back together. Not really back together as they are compatible, but for now, just two co-parenting, of course, moving forward with their, their life. But let's do watch the relationship that was existed between Philip Schofield and the mysterious personality at ITV.
In 3 years, wonder what we'll both be doing then.
Well, if I'm still getting away with it, I'll be a happy man.
Great, amazing. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Out after he was fired from ITV's hit show This Morning. Matthew McGreevy first met Philip when he was 10 years old at his theater group, after which Philip quickly became Matthew's mentor, who guided him through the entertainment industry. When he was 15, Philip started publicly following Matthew on Twitter, which Matthew thanked him for. Shortly thereafter, Matthew became a T-boy at This Morning and did lots of segments with both Philip and Holly, and he was very popular with viewers.
Philip, thank you so much.
I'll see you in 3 years.
See you in 3 years. Wonder what we'll both be doing then.
Well, if I'm still getting away with it, I'll be a happy man.
Great, amazing. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well, I mean, that was very good, actually.
However, people at ITV thought it was strange how this young man got such a high-profile job. They also thought his very close connection with Philip was strange, since Philip was so much older than him. According to former This Morning regular Katie Hopkins, it was This Morning presenter Ruth Langsford who ended up filing a complaint against Philip.
For the longest time, something very strange was going on between Philip and a very young showrunner. So much so that they went out for dinner and this runner was on all of Philip's shows. And Uncle Philip used to give him some very special attention at quite a young age. At which point Ruth, who also used to be on the show before she was binned, put in a complaint about certain behaviours that were never then talked about.
Here we have footage of Ruth and her husband Eamon talking to Matthew in a This Morning segment. Ruth's complaint was allegedly so credible that Matthew was indeed fired from This Morning shortly after, but Philip mysteriously kept his job while Ruth was later also dismissed. When Matthew was fired from This Morning, he allegedly became bitter and wanted to tell all to a tabloid for a huge sum of money. He was also allegedly going to admit that the relationship was inappropriate, although it is unknown how old Matthew exactly was when the alleged relationship started. Because of this, Philip decided to get ahead of it and come out after being in the closet for over 30 years.
With the strength and support of my wife and my daughters, I've been coming to terms with the fact that I am gay. And I think it's really important to stress as well that you haven't had your hand forced here
No,
at all.
it's my decision.
This is your decision.
This is my
that you've made.
decision.
Although it was said that he came out on his own accord, many people started to suggest he did it under duress. Skeptics included legendary actress Joan Collins, who was quickly shut down by Piers Morgan for hinting at the story.
What was the reason that he suddenly felt that he had to go public with this when a lot of people already knew? I mean, we also
there have been
knew,
some
you know.
rumors of inappropriateness, but they're
I mean
unsubstantiated.
inappropriateness.
Well,
Of course, there is also the recent conviction of his brother, which didn't help Philip's credibility either. What do you think about ITV firing Philip Schofield? Do you think he had too many ongoing scandals to keep him? Or do you think they should have given him a second chance because none of these stories have been proven by higher...
happened to Philip and this mysterious person. I really want to put his name out there because, of course, security reasons. But his explosive interview with the BBC was the reason, one of the reasons, I might say, that got people's attention into his marital affair, especially what people were asking was the fact that after this relationship between himself and the former, ITV worker, who at the time was very young, to have witnessed this mysterious relationship happening at the ITV, station. What really was their wife's reaction? Well, we've got an excerpt at the interview that happened, between himself, Philip, and the interviewee. Let's check this out. Interviewer, I beg your pardon. Let's check this in snippet interview.
As a child, you were in a position of power over them. You used your power eventually to give them something they craved, which was a shot at a job in the media. You nurtured a relationship, and then that relationship became sexual. And they might ask, what's the difference between that and grooming?
Well, I would say that your initial list of things was not right anyway.
Tell me, why?
Because it was a totally innocent picture, a totally innocent Twitter follow, of which I follow 11,400 people, and then it was a completely innocent backwards and forwards over a period of time about a job, about careers. What's wrong with talking to someone, no matter what age they are? Does that mean that if you're following anyone on Twitter that you absolutely don't talk to anybody else or you don't give advice? So I disagree with the summation that you just gave, because that does paint a very grave picture.
Do you feel, mindful as I am that you are very concerned about the welfare of one particular person, do you feel a victim in all this?
No. I feel a victim of hate after the event. And I think that there'll be a lot of people watching this thinking, how dare you? It would be easier for me to say, I don't feel like a victim. What I feel a victim of is spun areas of non-factual information and gossip and nastiness. But I don't look anymore. I've already told you how I feel. And I'm not in television anymore. There are a great many things that have been said that are categorically untrue. Now, I have nothing against Dan, and now I've actually brought myself down to a far, far greater degree than you could ever have done. I have brought myself down. I am done. I have to talk about television in the past tense, which breaks my heart. But it continues, and it is relentless, and it is day after day after day after day. And if you do that, if you don't think that that is going to have the most catastrophic effect on someone's mind, what do you want me to die? Because that's where I am. I have lost everything. My girls saved my life. They said last week they haven't left me for a moment. They've been by my side every moment because they're scared to let me out of their sight.
you.